My name's Duddy, Settle Builds and stuff, and today I've got a Titan build, a Behemoth build that will actually help you clear more GMs. I'm not going to go on record and say it is the best GM build, but if you like Stasis Titans, this build is absolutely cracked because we're going to be featuring precious scards for healing. It's a really good support build. We're going to get healing on the fly for you and your teammates, and on top of that we are going to get loads and loads of damage via shatter. So we can play this build two ways, at back or up close. Precious scars, final blows from weapons with a damage type matching your subclass energy, create a burst of healing around you that grants allies restoration. After reviving or being revived, you gain an aura that provides overshield to you and your nearby allies. So just stay back, pop away with your selected stasis weapon. We'll go into that in a moment, and you're going to get a nice burst of healing and restoration for your teammates. Tectonic Harvest is a really good aspect to run with this one because every time you shatter a stasis crystal it creates a stasis shard. This shard grants melee energy when picked up by you and your allies. Now this works particularly well with the weapon of choice, Wicked Implement. Rapidly landing precision hits causes targets to become slowed. It is a really nice stasis scout rifle exotic, this one. It's also got this perk on there, Tithing Harvest. While creeping attrition is active, destroying stasis crystal or landing precision final blows creates a stasis shard. This stasis shard returns to you. That paired with the Tectonic Harvest is really good. It's also got a catalyst on there. It's got a headstone, and it also collecting stasis shard gradually overflows the magazine. So headstone, creating crystals on headshots, plus the Tectonic Harvest. And then if you just watch this bottom left here, I'm going to throw my grenade and then watch what happens. I'm going to get armor charge as well, 14 seconds. So using the crystals and the Wicked Implement Scout Rifle, we're going to be able to get an infinite amount of armor charge as well, which you can use for Stasis Weapon Surge. I run two of these, which is 17% extra damage, but Elemental Charge is what the main mod is. Collecting a Fire Sprite, Ionic Trace, or a Stasis Shard, or destroying the Strand Tangle has an escalating chance to give you an armor charge. So throw your stasis crystal down, your Tectonic Harvest is going to create loads of them shards, and you've got an infinite supply of armor charge. Very easy. Whisper of Rhyme, you can also use this one. Collecting a stasis shard grants a small amount of overshield which falls off after 10 seconds. Collecting additional shards adds to the overshield and refreshes its armor. Whisper of Conduction to make all them stasis shards track to your position. So it's a really good setup with Wicked Implement because you get shards from your Glacier Grenade and the Wicked Implement. So we're going to get an infinite amount of armor charge via the Elemental Charge, and we can get an infinite amount of healing and an overshield just by adding a few things to the mix, which really buffs this build out big time with the precious scars. Whisper of Rending is another really good one to run because primary ammo weapons do increase damage to stasis crystals and frozen targets. When you freeze a target with Whisper of Rending, it's a 42% damage increase with your primary ammo weapons. So the Wicked Implement does actually put out some nice damage. You'll see that it went from 2.5 all the way up to 3.6. That's the Whisper of Rending. Smash a stasis crystal, get your armor charge, another 17% on top of that, and you've got a really steady, nice supply of damage all the way up to 4275, which is a 42% damage increase plus the 17% from your armor charge. And then obviously then you've got your precious scars working in the background very nicely with all the other stuff that you've seen going on. Just getting that burst of healing, bit of nice extra damage. It works really nice. A couple of artifact perks this season. Pillar of Ice works really nice, defeating an encased combatant spawns crystals and then Hail the Storm. Shattering encased targets and stasis crystals deal increased damage. Shattering stasis crystal releases shards of ice that damage and slow enemies. So you can also add this to the mix as well, so you don't have to actually stay back all the time. This is why I like this build. You can stay back with your scout rifle, or you can use them crystals and the artifact perks to do some serious damage up close as well. So obviously we've touched on Tectonic Harvest. This is sort of the main one. The other one that I like to pair with this one is Diamond Lance. This works really nicely as well because you can slow and freeze a lot of targets with your Diamond Lances as well. So they're the two aspects. And just to sort of go over, you've literally got quite a lot of damage here with the Whisper of Rending. That's just a Whisper of Rending on its own. It does some really nice damage over time. Just steady damage, and it can easily destroy overloads. Plus, like I said, what we've been through, you can then take advantage of your armor charges, which are infinite with Tectonic Harvest and Elemental Charge. You can literally get a really nice big boost of damage. Whisper of Rending, 2 weapon surges anytime you want. So this is how I like to play this build. It's specifically this GM, the Cosmodrome one, because there is times where you do have to stay back, get rid of some snipers. Now, again, like this build, this Titan build, I found it really sort of versatile because you can actually pop away. Whisper of Shards is a really good one. Shattering Stasis Crystal temporarily boosts your grenade recharge rate. Shattering additional Stasis Crystal also increases the benefits. So whenever you shatter one of these crystals, you get massive boosts to your grenade recharge rate as well. And then just again what I was touching on earlier, just being able to stay back, pop away, get the healing from the precious scars. The extra damage, you'll see all them Stasis Shards coming towards me, healing you. Whisper of Rhyme, that is really nice. Just working in the background with precious scars, you manage to sponge a couple of sniper shots there. You don't usually sponge two. And then on top of that, if anything pushes you, you've got all the artifact perks. Another one to really good weapon to pair with this one, or perk, is Collective Action. Now, Collective Action works whenever you collect up an elemental pickup, i.e. a Stasis Shard. You're going to get a 20% extra damage. Now, obviously this works really good with this build because you just throw a Stasis Crystal down, get that Collective Action going. You've got your armour charge, which stacks with Collective Action, bit of healing, and it's a really good perk to run. Really good weapon perk to run with this build. I will go all over my mods and fragments a bit more, but I'm just sort of showing you the breakdown of the build, as well as the Collective Action procking. You see there in that top as well, I've got an overshield from the Whisper of Rhyme, extra damage for your stasis weapons with your armour charge, healing from precious scars, covered at distance, covered up close with all the smashing effects from the artifact perks. And it is such a good build, very versatile, up close, at distance, whatever you want, you're pretty much covered. So again, I just want to say this, if you do want to play Stasis Titan, if you're a bit bored of all the solar stuff this season a little bit, this build, I honestly think, tested it quite a lot, and we been able to like sort of clear rooms pretty easily with this build. It's probably, the downside of it, it's probably not the fastest sort of speed running build, but if you want to run a Behemoth build and get stuff done, this build will optimise that chance of you getting something done. I'll just go over everything that you've seen. Tectonic Albis, which we've touched on, that's really important, and then Diamond Lance is the other aspect that I run. Glacier Grenade is an absolute must. That is what you need for the Tectonic Albis and your elemental charge, and it does quite a lot of damage, like Glacier Grenade. Quickly go over my fragments. Whisper of Chains, while you are near frozen targets or friendly stasis crystals, you take reduced damage from targets, an absolute no-brainer. Whisper of Rending, which we've touched on, a 42% extra damage. Whisper of Shards, whenever you shatter a stasis crystal, you get a big boost to your grenade recharge rate. All work perfectly with this build. Whisper of Rhyme, again, which we've touched on, that's the one that gives you healing from the stasis shards. And then Whisper of Conduction to make all the shards come to you. That little combination of fragments all work perfectly together. Some mods now, time dilation to make your armor charge have a little bit of a longer duration. That works really nice with the stasis weapon surges. I also like to run Reaper to create orbs as well. That's another way to get armor charges. Every time you use your class ability, your next weapon kill spawns an orb, and then I buff it out with a bomber. It's not too bad, it got nerfed a little bit, but it's still pretty good, and I'm not sure what else to really run in there as well. But getting a boost to grenade recharge rate feels pretty nice. Again, the legs, which we've touched on briefly. Elemental charge, that is going to give you infinite armor charges whenever you pick up them stasis shards pretty much. And then 2 stasis weapon surges on my legs just to get an extra 17%, which does stack with Whisper of Rending, by the way. And then on my class item, on my chest, a concussive dampener, a couple of resistance mods, whatever the activity is at the time. On my arms, the firepower mod actually works with glacier grenades. Your grenade final blows create orbs of power. As long as you encase that enemy, you will create an orb of power. And then bolstered detonation, I run 2 of them. It grants class ability energy when you cause damage with a grenade. That's really good for your bomber and your reaper. Now the very last thing is the helmet. Harmonic siphon, no brainer again, easy one. Rapid stasis final blows, create an orb of power. And then because we're running an exotic primary scout rifle, the Wicked Implement, you're going to get loads of heavy ammo finders because it's an exotic scout. So a heavy ammo finder and then a heavy ammo scout for you and your teammates. And you also get plenty of heavy ammo. So the build itself, all in all, is an absolute beast. I absolutely love Stasis Titans. I've done a couple of builds this season. This one is definitely more of an endgame build compared to the other one that I did. Really tanky with this build. You get all that damage resistance from the crystals as well. All the healing, infinite armor charges, giving you and your teammates healing, and it's such a good build. I hope you found this helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll leave a dim link and everything in the video description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.